longer useful. Bother.
Oh my God, he's a psychopath. Oh my God, she's choking her out. Today, we will be reacting to episodes 21 and 22 of Neon Genesis Evangelion. We are only 3 reaction episodes away from completing the series, and things have really gotten wild. It really does feel like we are in the final act of this story, and I am incredibly excited today to just get back into it with episode 21, and it's called The Birth of Nerve.
Ooh.
That title gets me
Riled up.
gets me riled up, gets me excited. So without further ado, today let's just jump right into it. Episode 21, The Birth of Nerve. Let's freaking go. It's freaking FNAF right now.
Oh, you have to change it.
Oh, yeah. I'm just going to let everybody know that we did get a request to turn the subtitles on.
And we're going to be turning them off.
And we're going to be turning them off. They just don't match.
Yeah, and it's very distracting.
And it's a little distracting. Yeah, so I do apologize, but off.
Are you talking about Dr. Katsuragi's super solenoid theory?
That theory is far too radical, I must say.
It's still nothing more than a hypothesis at this stage.
But there's no other way to explain how that giant could be powered adequately.
Scientists have far too much faith in their deliberations.
You think they're dogmatic?
They're far too obsessive.
No one's touched it.
These are people who cannot accurately perceive reality. And
This is
understand
crazy.
paves the way to hegemony.
Oh my God.
It's gone past the threshold.
All 18 beams are giving way. Initiate cooling cycle once the gates are go.
This is lit, dude. This is like found footage. Whoa. Oh. That was an awesome way to start an episode. That was so cool.
Sorry, I'm not home right now. Leave your message after the beep.
Hey, Masato, it's Josh. Just
One last job to do. The bread is like blood.
seeing if we're still on for Saturday.
The deputy commander has been abducted?
It happened 2 hours ago. He was last confirmed in Ward 8 in the West. An informant, someone on the inside who managed to manipulate us.
Someone outsmarted Intel Section 2. You don't think?
Ryoji Kaji. We believe he's heavily involved in this matter. It pains us to admit we have doubts in the loyalty of our operations section chief, but we do have to do our job.
Considering the history he and I have, this decision is the logical step to make.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Wow.
It's been quite a long time, Chairman Keel. Bit of a rough welcome, though, don't you think?
This was a logical step to make so that I could have a thorough discussion with you.
I see you haven't changed.
The subject at hand requires immediate attention. We had no other choice. Please understand.
I expected the Council, not Zilla, to question me.
We have no intention to create a new god.
What the
Please cooperate,
fuck?
Professor Fuyutsuki.
Professor Fuyutsuki.
He's a professor? Oh.
Hello,
Whoa.
gentlemen. Are you busy today, sir? Want to join us for beers at Kamogawa?
All right, count me in.
It's
Damn.
good to get out and have a drink with your peers. There's a student over in bioengineering who's put together a fascinating report. The student's name is Ikari. Have you ever heard that name
That's
before?
Misato's dad right there.
Ikari. I haven't.
Well, the student was interested in meeting you after I mentioned your name.
Ikari's the name, right? I'll be on the lookout. I have read through your paper. I have doubts about 2 or 3 points, but it was a very stimulating read.
Thank you for the compliment, sir.
Your name was Ikari. Yui Ikari?
That's right.
What are your
Shinji's
plans
mom.
after university? Become an employee
What are your
elsewhere,
plans after
or
class?
find a position at a lab here?
There's a third option I think you might be forgetting.
Hmm?
I could always choose the domestic life, you know. That is, if I can find someone suitable.
Having
Back in-
assimilated the S2 drive, Evangelion Unit 1 has attained an absolute existence.
Creation of a god is forbidden.
Moreover, we can't allow this god to fall into that man's hands. Gendo Ikari, can this man be trusted?
This is lit, dude.
Well, I don't know him personally. His fame and reputation precede him.
I've heard about you from a certain individual, and I've wanted to meet you in person ever since.
Not very dignified of you to get into a fight after getting drunk.
Well, the fight was upon me before I could talk myself out of it.
Well, I don't see what this has to do with me.
Professor, you're
He's a
exactly
hooligan.
the man I pictured you would be in my head.
He's a brawler.
I wrote him off as being the disagreeable type as my first impression. Is that really true?
It is. Mr. Rokubungi and I have been in a relationship for some time.
I couldn't hide my shock when I heard those words come from her mouth. To be honest, it's
I
hard
couldn't
to
hide my
imagine you two
disgust.
would get along well.
He can be very cute once you get to know him better. It's just that nobody knows about it.
And perhaps I would be better off not knowing as well.
How did he become
My
this
colleagues
man's
thought he only became close to you
underling?
out of his desire for her talents, and to have an in with an organization she was associated with. It wasn't until later that I heard the rumors the name of the organization was Zila. The great tragedy, the second impact, took place. Thus the first year of the 21st century could only be described as hell on earth.
It's like information and lore overload right now.
They say it'll be 30 degrees Celsius again today. Feels like more than that. And why haven't you moved to the ship above yet?
We're short on doctors here. I'm an imitation, but it's better than nothing. A mission to the Antarctic now?
Well, this organization is provisional. I think you could serve your fellow man better on this mission than playing local unlicensed doctor.
The space indicating who recommended me is blank. Who was it? Hard to imagine an icy continent was once here.
Professor Fuyutsuki.
You again.
Oy.
I'm amazed you're alive. I was
Terrifying.
under the impression that you were
He
part
looks
of the
scarier.
expedition team of the Katsuragi Commission.
Yes, however, I was back in
Katsuragi
Japan
Commission.
on the day of the incident and luckily avoided the tragedy.
I see.
Luckily, huh?
Look, Rokabuki, I don't...
Sorry,
Lucky
but
you,
I've changed
huh?
my name since last time.
Ikari. Gendo Ikari?
My wife insisted that I give this card to you, Professor.
Look
She's
at his
always been a big
eyes.
fan of you. Yui wished she could have joined us here, but she has a child to care for at home.
He's got her locked up in the
This
basement,
organization
dude.
You're part of. Zila, was it? This official investigation of the second impact. You knew. It would be suspicious if the entire investigation team was comprised of Zila members. That's why you brought us in, isn't it?
Take one look at that man and know he's up to something.
She's the lone survivor from the original expedition. Her name is Misato Katsuragi. She hasn't spoken a word in 2 years. What she saw must have been awful.
A vast underground chamber under the epicenter of the explosion, and this giant of light. It seems this incident is full of mysteries.
Indeed.
Later, the United Nations would officially report the second impact
are real people.
resulted from an extraordinarily large meteor.
Ooh.
This was a blatant cover-up at work. I could catch hints of Zila and a man called Keel at work behind the scenes. I had to find out the dark truth behind this incident, even if that meant seeing Yui Ikari's name implicated.
There she is.
It's been a long time.
Damn, he's so pissed.
Yeah,
It's
he's
like, what
like-
do you see in this literal
Monster.
freak?
This freak.
Did you know beforehand that the second impact would happen on that day? You mentioned you were lucky to have been off-site the day before the incident.
Yeah.
Was it also luck when you collected all the research material before leaving?
Ooh.
Impressive as always, Professor. You should consider a career in economics.
I will make it public how your
So
group,
condescending.
Zile, and the Dead Sea Scrolls lurked in the shadows of the second impact.
As you wish. But before you do that, there's something I'd like to show you.
What is this?
It's a cavern left behind by someone who wasn't us.
Are you intending to repeat this tragedy once more?
That's something you'll have to decide for yourself.
Oh.
Oh, Professor Fuyutsuki.
Naoko, you too?
Yes, this is the best place for me to pursue
That's
my
the
goal
ma-
in
the
developing
Magi.
fundamental theories regarding biological computers.
Is this what you wanted to show me?
No, that's over here. I'll be back, Ritsuko.
Ritsuko dyed her hair or what?
This is...
Yes, born of Adam. This before you is Ava.
Ava.
Part of our atom reconstruction effort. Codenamed Project E, and this is the prototype. We call it Ava Unit 0.
Is Ava like a play on Eve?
Fuyutsuki, would you be interested in creating a new path for mankind's history?
Miss Katsuragi? Yeah, Misato Katsuragi. Nice meeting you. Dear Mother,
The other day, I met a girl named Katsuragi. I learned she was the sole survivor of that expedition team. She temporarily suffered from speech loss. She doesn't ever stop talking now. So she's making up for the time she was silent.
Dear Ritsuko, I've been stuck buried below as usual.
Misato disappeared from college for a bit. She'd been crashing at her boyfriend's apartment for a week, lounging around. Never a dull day. I learned something unexpected about her. She introduced me to him today. He's cute, but I could never get along with someone so carefree.
Damn, you look good.
Boys, were you, Ritsuko? It's selfish of me to pretend like I'm a good mother.
Wow.
Oh, motherhood.
According to the scenario set out in Zile's hidden Dead Sea Scrolls, the third impact will occur 10 years from now.
Organizations like Zile and Gehin
What?
exist solely to prevent that from happening. Breaking that seal could mean a cataclysm to this world.
Ikari has all my research material, but I won't do what I did before. And they've been warning me, with subtle threats. It seems they're uncomfortable with the amount of information I have.
The rest of us survivors as well.
That's not a reason to be their test subject, Yui.
Little Shinji.
I will ride along with the current.
That's when his Ava was a car seat.
That's why I'm with
His
Zile.
Ava was a stroller.
But also I do this for him. For Shinji.
Okay, so there's no sign of Rei, so they weren't twins. They had one kid.
That's Director Ikari's son, sir.
Sorry, Professor Fuyutsuki. I brought him with me.
But why, Yui? You knew that your experiment was today.
That's why he's here. I wanted to see that there's a bright future ahead of him.
Those were Ms. Yui's last words. A freak accident that day made her disappear from this world.
Disappear
from this world. I had wished for.
What?
I'm a terrible woman.
She wished for? She likes Gendo too?
Where have you been for an entire week? I understand you must be heartbroken, but you have numerous responsibilities that far exceed your immediate needs.
Today I will propose to advance a new plan. I've already submitted it to Chairman Keel.
You can't be thinking.
I am. The path that leads to divinity. Something no one has successfully realized. The Human Instrumentality Project.
Dear Mother, congratulations on completing the fundamental theories for the Magi. I didn't mean this to be a gesture of congratulation, but I've been informally hired to join Gehin. I'll be assigned to work as part of Project E.
Who's that?
Ritsuko Akagi of the Technology Development Department. This place is a maze.
The director and Dr. Akagi are at the command center right now.
You're sure about this?
Yes. I have no regrets in work.
Liar! You still can't let go of Yui. But even so, I don't care.
What is so charming about this man? Oh my god. Nasty.
And
what the hell?
HQ.
Good morning, Director. A girl. Wait, I thought you had a little boy.
An acquaintance of mine asked me to look after this child.
Right.
Her name is Rei Ayanami.
This child
Uh-huh.
reminds me of
Uh-huh.
Yui?
Yep. He did it.
All files
He
pertaining to
cloned
Rei
her.
Ayanami have been deleted. Magus Caspar, Magus Balthazar, and Magus Melchior. Myself as a scientist, myself as a mother, and myself as a woman.
So 3 of you, huh, Mother? Well, I'm gonna head home early. Misato is due to come back today.
She's in Germany, right?
That's right. She works at the 3rd branch. All right. It's been too long since I've gone out for a drink.
Good work today, dear.
Thanks, you too.
I mean, the relationship is kind of sweet. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Huh? I got lost exploring.
Oh, I see. Well, then would you like to walk back with me? But you
Oh.
won't be able to get back on your own.
It's none of your business, old hag.
Ray's gonna
I can
kill
make
her.
it back without any help from you, an old hag.
I'll have to get Director Ikari to scold you.
But those are his words. It's what the director calls you.
Whoa.
That old hag is an incessant bother. That old hag is no longer useful. That old hag is no longer useful.
It's what the director calls you.
Is an incessant
That old
bother.
hag is no longer useful.
Bother.
Oh my god. He's a psychopath. Oh my god. She's choking her out.
There are plenty of replacements for you, Ray.
What the hell?
Me.
She killed her? He made another one. He made another one.
On that day, the Human Instrumentality Project, headed by Chairman Keel Lawrence, dissolved Gehin. Special Agency NERV was established to finish carrying out the project. Every one of us transferred to become members of NERV, with the one exception being Dr. Akagi, the key figure in the development of the Magi system.
My God.
Right. Time to go.
Oh my God.
It's you.
Been a while, sir. I had the guard outside get some shut-eye.
This act of yours will only further endanger your life.
Thank you for your cooperation. The issue at hand has now been resolved.
I see. And him?
I do not know, ma'am.
This episode is crazy, to say the least.
Hey, what took you so long?
He's dead. Murdered. Oh my God.
I'm home.
Katsuragi, it's me. By the time you get this message, I've probably made life a lot harder for you. For that, I'm sorry. Give my apologies to Ritsuko as well. Katsuragi, the truth is with you. Keep going, don't look back. If I can see you again, I'll say the words I meant to say 8 years ago. Bye.
12 o'clock, 2 minutes, p.m.
God damn. You're tearing up too.
Sad.
The only thing I could do was run away from Ms. Misato. There was nothing I could do. Nothing I could say. I was just a child.
We're back.
We're back. Wow. I don't know what to say. I mean, that was heartbreaking. That was so sad. Wow. You know, a lot of things were revealed. I do have my, crazy theories and thoughts, but wow. Just to leave on that note, I mean, this series is incredible. There've been so many episodes, I feel like recently, where, it's either excitement or just a level of hype or just like, you rooting for Shinji or being like gagunked, mind freaked. But, that one just left me in shambles. I feel so bad for everybody. And it really does. This episode, and we've known it, right? But this episode shows that it's all fucking Gendo's fault. I mean, he's like ruined everybody's life.
He's a poison.
He has sacrificed and has had a complete disregard for everyone. He has seen the people who have allowed him to achieve what he's achieved as nothing more than just pawns in his fucking game. He is awful. And he thinks it's for the betterment of humanity. But that, I think, is a lie he's telling himself, because he just wants to fucking, I don't know, be some sort of god or get credit for discovering or saving humanity. Like, he is selfish and really a monster. Before, it's been like unimaginable things that he's put his own child through. But he has involved so many other people and torn apart so many families, broken so many relationships, like ended people's lives before it was their time. Like, God, man, it's all him. It's all him. If this is a show and a series that has very heavy religious themes, then he is fucking Beelzebub. He is the devil. Oh my God, man. I just get so angry. But that was an incredible episode to get to see the relationship between Ritsuko and her mother, to see a younger Misato and to see what she had to overcome, how much trauma was caused from that, obviously from that horrible incident that she had to go through, losing her father. But the Shinji and Rei thing again, and seeing more of Shinji's mom, like actually getting to spend some time with her, finding out that guy, the guy who looks like he's from the Empire or whatever,
he's actually not bad. I mean, he wanted to. I think he just got caught up in everything.
Yeah.
With like the idea of saving humanity, but he never really. Like, he probably still, to this day, doesn't, like, agree with Ikari and half of the shit he's been doing or has done.
Well, we saw him leave his professorial career behind to pursue almost like a humanitarian sort of lifestyle where he was just doing research and trying to help. That's what it seemed like when he was on those boats. Like, it seemed like he was putting his knowledge towards helping people recover from this tragedy. And he was roped in. And I'm sure, like you said, that's why he is even doing the things that he's doing, because Commander Ikari has manipulated him into believing that this is the best way he can help people.
He's in way too deep. If he leaves, he's going to be killed.
Yes.
He knows way too much.
Yes.
I mean, everyone's kind of like forced to be where they're at in this moment in time. That's why Kaji kind of playing both sides. Like, it was only a matter of time before.
And Kaji, man, he. To me, you never know, right? You never know, especially when it cuts to black and you hear a gunshot. You never know. If you don't see it, it's safe to assume that maybe they're not dead. But I do believe that he was killed and that he's gone. Because like you said, he was playing a dangerous game and it finally caught up to him. Who killed him, I think obviously was either by Gendo's hand, but I don't think Gendo would get his hands that dirty. I think he would send somebody. I think it was Rei. Why else show us the child version of Rei coming at Ritsuko's mom in that way? It almost seems like because Rei's memories were wiped, she has no memory. So obviously and clearly, when we saw Shinji's mother, they just had one kid. I had kind of played with the idea that maybe they had two, but then like Ikari stole one while she was like passed out after giving birth or something. He like grabbed one, and but it does seem like there was just Shinji, and he was so broken up because even Ritsuko's mom was saying, you're still so obsessed with Shinji's mother, and his face while he was kissing her, like he's just playing people, and people like I guess are like charmed by him. Like that's what's so crazy. Like he looks like a maniac. But straight out of freaking Arkham Asylum, dude, with his eyes.
I mean, he looks like it's just like the bad version of Shinji. Like he looks like Shinji, but like an evil Shinji.
Evil Shinji.
Like a nasty Shinji.
But he, when Rei was saying all those things, right? Those were Ikari's words, and maybe that was his like first attempt at cloning his dead wife. Or maybe that is the same Rei that we know today. Or maybe, I don't know, because it almost looked like Ritsuko's mom strangled her to death.
Well, we didn't see what happened after that.
Yeah.
Then we just found out that everyone kind of moved from the company before that was doing all the research to Nerve. It was disbanded. And then we saw that, chalk outline.
Yeah,
so,
with blood splattered everywhere.
Yeah, so we don't know who that was.
I thought it was
kind of it's
implied that it was that Rei had something to do with it, but I thought maybe it was like, okay, yeah, he had like test tubes full of Reis, and then he was like, okay, gotta dial the mouth on this one back a little bit. But I mean, who knows? He clearly has some sort of control over her because, I mean, the Rei that we know now would never say shit like that. Would never be like that unless there is again this. He watches her so closely because she is some sort of super soldier, or she has this word. He can just override her personality. Like, how they have those assassins that you could say that word to, and they'll kind of snap and they'll go into like a killing mode or whatever. I mean, maybe it's something like that, but yeah, dude, that is clearly a clone of his dead wife that he has trained to basically do whatever he needs her to do, like the dirty work of killing, which is why maybe, I don't know. I don't know. Because it seemed like it was implied that Ray had something to do with it, even though Ray was like lifeless. I don't know. But it would make sense then. The way I'm picturing it in my head right now is that he's got some phrase that he says. She goes into assassination mode, and that's probably who went after Kaji. That could not be the case. That's just kind of what I'm theorizing, I guess, right now. But there's just so much going on, man. I loved getting to see everybody.
Yeah, the lore.
How it all started, how the relationships formed.
Because I mean, when you see them in the beginning, you just think that like, oh yeah, they've always had this type of relationship. You know, he's always been in charge. We have the, was the deputy commander always kind of following him, kind of being his little henchman. But like, that's not the case at all. And he didn't even like the guy. Everyone liked his wife more than him. And we've all known couples like that. We're like, oh, you're gonna come? It's like, oh, I'm gonna bring my boyfriend. You're like, fuck.
Damn.
No one likes him.
Gonna bring Gendo. Fuck.
Yeah, like Gendo's a freak. Like, never mind. We're gonna cancel because we don't want him to come.
But the old man who we discover was a professor, he even implied that Gendo was only attaching himself to her because she had connections.
Yeah. And for her mind. I mean, her brain.
But then,
which she was able to do.
Towards the end, he did seem like he did kind of care about her because he was so torn up about her. But that's the thing. Her death was like mysterious. And then even Ritsuko's mother, it was mysterious. I mean, she was thrown against a wall. I mean, that's what it looked like because the chalk line was all.
No, it was like the body. You know how it's like there's like a.
Oh, it was like it was like a camera looking up. Okay. I thought it was a wall. Dude.
No, because, there's like, how there's like levels and stuff.
Right. So it was a camera looking down then.
So, yeah, she was thrown.
Gotcha. But
thrown. She tripped, whatever.
People are dying mysteriously. Even Shinji's mother dying mysteriously. The drama.
Well, did you hear what they exactly said?
They said that she, like, there was a horrible accident. Like, those were her last words. And there was a mysterious, I think is a word that they used, accident. Do you remember exactly what they said? I think then if it happened in this episode.
Well, do you want to just... No, I guess we can't really play it back. I don't want to... If you didn't hear it, then I don't know.
I thought that...
I have to remember specifically what they said because if I say it and they didn't say that... Do you remember?
Well, I think they said she disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes back to when...
she disappeared from this world. That's what they said.
When Gendo took Shinji to his mother's grave, he said that this is just a facade, that there's no body here.
So, yeah, disappeared from this world.
Right. Which, like, goes back into the idea that I had about her. Well, it seems pretty obvious now when her soul, her spirit, came through the Eva and talked to Shinji briefly, that, like, there was some sort of, like, harmonic convergence or some sort of converging of her, like she was, or I don't know. Like, she disappeared from this world. Where the fuck did she go? What? Or is...
I don't want to... It's like, I can't...
Because Rei isn't Shinji's mom. I don't think. Like, that could be it too. Like, she disappeared from this world. Everybody's like, she's gone, but then that's really her. And she got freaking de-aged or something. Her hair turned blue. But she's disappeared from this world. Like, she went to another, like, is it the same thing that happened to Shinji? When Shinji became, because that's what they were doing, similar tests to get the what do they call it? The human, whatever.
Instrumentality.
Yeah, instrumentality. So Shinji came back, but maybe she just didn't come back. Because he was a suit. He was just a suit. I don't know. I feel like I'm missing something that's pretty obvious. Okay, well, I don't want to put you in that position.
I mean, I don't want to say you're on. I don't want to not say you're not. I don't want to not say you're not on the right track.
Right. Okay, I get it.
But I don't want to give too much away because we are gearing up towards the end. Yes. And I mean, that is, after, I mean, it has been ramping up for a while now, but 21 from now on, it's like every episode is gonna be
I mean,
like heavy like that.
I feel that already. I can't freaking wait. Incredible episode. They haven't been missing, and like you're saying, I don't doubt that they're just gonna continue to be incredible, one after the other. So let's just get into the next episode. Episode 22, Staying Human. Now, see, again, these titles, dude, these are good titles. It's like, Staying Human, what happened? You know? If you become not human and then you have to stay human?
Tomorrow we'll be in Japan.
Asuka.
Misato said she'd be here by noon. I don't like her, though. She seems so fake all the time.
Jealous.
Shucks, I'm not gonna be able to see you anymore. That sucks big time.
I'm sure there'll be a long line of guys begging to be your boyfriend when you get to Japan. I heard the third children is a boy. Why don't you try getting along with him?
I'm not interested in some dumb little kids. The only one for me is you, Mr. Kaji.
I'm honored. I truly am.
Come on, Mr. Kaji, I'm serious! I'd say yes a million times if you'd just ask me. Ask me to kiss you and do other things too!
Chill, girl.
I've grown up more than enough to be with you. I'm an adult!
Oh my God.
An adult! I'm an adult! Look at me, please!
What the? The hypothetical has become a reality.
Oscar lore?
The person who advocated for it would become the test subject.
It's cruel to leave behind a young daughter by committing suicide.
Well, there are other factors that might be at play.
Asuka, sweetie. Mommy made your favorite dish in the world today. Isn't that nice? Her condition hasn't changed. She keeps talking to that doll, thinking it's her daughter.
She was so absorbed into her research, she made little time for her daughter.
That must be so horrible.
Oh, these fucked up scientists.
It's eerie. They look like a set of matching dolls, mother and daughter.
Dolls are, after all, made by people. People craft them into their own image. If a god exists, perhaps we were made in his image.
That was quite unexpected, coming from a practitioner of modern medicine.
I may be a doctor, but I'm still a person. A woman, in fact.
What the hell?
It's okay to cry, dear.
I don't need to. I won't cry. I'll be fine. I'll think for myself.
Asuka, can you hear me? Your sync rate is down by 8. You have to purge your mind of distracting thoughts.
I am trying to!
This is gonna be a good one.
Asuka's synchronization rate. It keeps dropping even further.
The Ava series. All born of Adam. In their desperation, man is willing to work with the scourge that threaten their very existence. Deep down, maybe I really do hate the Avas. They killed my father.
Miss Katsuragi.
They've started construction of Ava units through number 13 in 7 locations around the world. Why are they in a rush to mass produce them?
Well, 2 Avas have been lost, and 2 more need massive repairs.
It's clear the Council are getting anxious about something.
Yeah.
Do you think they could be expecting these single individual attacks could turn into multiple angel attacks at the same time?
It's plausible, but that doesn't explain why they keep this under wraps. So there has to be something else going on.
We're sorry. You have reached a number that has been disconnected or is no longer in service.
How strange. My calls aren't even getting through.
The train is approaching on platform 2. Please stand behind the white line while waiting.
You were absorbed in the Ava for an entire month until just recently. Now look, those two are back together like nothing ever happened. Sure, you beat me. How?
Pen. I can't give you the attention you deserve right now.
We're finally back together. It's too bad it has to feel so awkward.
Well, thank you for dinner.
Asuka.
I don't think so. I bet it's Mr. Kaji trying to get a hold of you. Get it yourself, Misato.
That won't happen.
My, looks like I've managed to trouble the invincible Mr. Shinji. Imagine him helping the commoner.
It's an international call from Germany, Asuka. It's your mother.
It's for me? Give me that. Hallo, Mutter. Ja. Tschüss, Mutter. Gute Nacht.
Wow, you were talking to her for quite a while.
No, just some mundane family conversation.
But still, I wish I had that.
You know, she's not my real mother.
Huh?
But it's not that I don't like her or anything like that. It's just a little weird sometimes.
Wait a sec, why the hell am I talking to you about all this stuff? I'm sorry.
I'm not going in the water Misato and idiot Shinji used to bathe themselves in. I'm not going to use the washing machine that Misato and idiot Shinji used. They washed their underwear. I'm not going to use a toilet that Misato and idiot Shinji used. They sat on it before me. I am not going to breathe the same air Misato and idiot Shinji were breathing. I hate Misato. I hate Shinji. And I hate the first even more. I hate my dad. I hate my mom. The one I hate most is me. I can't take it anymore. I've had it with this.
I'm reading a drop of 12.8 on the sync graph. It's barely enough for activation.
Asuka's on the second day of her period. Is that why it's so low?
Sync rates are not dependent on superficial physiological states. Problem is deeper, in her subconscious. Asuka, you can come up now.
How could she not lose her confidence after defeat like that? But I think it was losing to Shinji that made this significant. All three of us living together may not be for the best anymore.
Did you finally get your fill of playing house?
I don't need someone who substitutes cats for humans as companions to give me lip.
Got her.
For real.
No, she needed that.
Why
Yeah.
am I stuck with this crap just because I was born a woman?
It's too real.
Yeah, I mean, the emotional complexities of these characters, I mean, it's all so real. She's gonna kill her. What the heck? Somebody say something. I'm so uncomfortable. I feel like I'm in the elevator with them. Wow. That's why I love the show, man. The choice to stay in this moment of silence, this awkward moment, it really does do so much and convey so much.
And Ava won't do anything unless you open your heart to it.
Are you accusing me of putting up walls inside? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, each Ava has a heart.
That doll has a heart?
You know this deep down.
Huh. Does it make you happy that I can't pilot my Ava anymore? What's there to be worried about anyway? The invincible Shinji will save us when an angel attacks. First Shinji treats me like a wounded dog, and now the clockwork doll thinks she could do the same thing.
I'm not a doll.
All you ever do is follow orders. I bet you'd kill yourself if Commander Ikari ordered you to.
I would.
God.
You are a doll! From the very moment I first met you, I've hated you for acting like a puppet! I hate you! I hate all of you!
I mean, I really do feel so bad for her, though.
It took long enough, but you're finally back. How dare you lose like that? Why does a weapon have to have a mind of its own anyway? It just ends up getting in the way. If you obey my command, everything will go perfectly well. You'll see. This is so dumb.
All personnel, battle stations, condition 1.
Again? Another angel?
I'm fucked up.
It seems intent on staying in satellite orbit.
The angel is maintaining a fixed distance from
They're gonna have to go into
Is it
space.
waiting for an opportunity to leave orbit and descend right on top of us? An Ava cannot intercept a target that's in satellite orbit. Launch Unit 0, prep for extreme long-distance sniping. Unit 2 and Asuka will stand by for launch as backup support.
Me? Support? Unit 0? Are you serious? Ava Unit 2, now launching!
Whoa.
Let her go. She can take point if she wants to.
But Major Katsuragi!
I suppose if she fails today, then that's the end for Asuka.
This is her last chance, isn't it?
Yeah.
Start thinking of a new pilot to replace Unit 2's.
I'm stressed, dude. I'm so stressed out.
If I fail this time, I'm sure they'll take me off Unit 2.
Everything's on the line.
Yeah.
Damn! Hurry up and get over here! This is driving me off the damn wall!
Whoa.
Unit 2 psychological graph is chaotic.
The angel knows what's in the human heart?
I mean, yeah. What the hell?
It's no use. It's out of range.
She's done. She's so done.
Analysis of that beam.
Its energy waves are within the visible range.
Oh my god. Oh my god. The music makes it, oh my god, so much crazier. What the fuck?
Stop looking into my heart! Please, don't violate my heart! Stop it! Asuka! Psychograph readings at limit!
Oh
Mental circuits are
my.
being torn completely apart.
No! That's a direct order! Withdraw! No!
You're
Absolutely
gonna
not!
die.
Die right here, then pull back now!
Asuka,
safety device.
Ray.
Disengaged. Systems ready for fire.
Psychological graph signal is very weak.
It's as if Asuka's mental wavelengths are being probed by the light. Is it possible the angel's trying to understand the human mind?
Why am I crying?
Asuka, what's wrong? You didn't like your present? It's from your new mom.
I don't want it! I'm not a child. I'm gonna grow up fast. I don't have any use for stuffed animals in my life. Please look at me, Mommy!
Oh my god, this is breaking my heart.
Die with me, Asuka.
Mommy! Don't kill me!
This is...
Don't kill me, please! I'm gonna think and live only for myself. I don't need Mommy or Daddy. I can live on my own. Stop! Stop making me remember all that! I finally forgot about it! Don't dig it back up! I don't need those painful things anymore! Please stop! Please just stop!
Please, Asuka, sweetie. Please die with me.
Oh my...
I'll die with you, Mommy. Just please don't stop being my mommy. Please, Mommy.
Mommy? Never heard of her.
What the fuck?
I'm Asuka Langley Soryu. Nice to meet you. Are you an idiot? My chance. I'm an adult, so look at me!
She sounded like Misato.
It was Misato.
I'm Asuka Langley Soryu.
Oh, that's Ray, yeah.
So look at me, please! No! This isn't me! It's not me!
I'm Asuka Langley Soryu. Nice to meet you.
This is
Are you an
tripping me
idiot?
out.
My chance.
Oh my god. These psychological breakdowns are psychologically breaking me down. Who the fuck are those people?
Help me! Help me, Mr. Kashi!
Asuka, you're still a kid.
What the hell are you doing here? You won't help me! You won't hold me! You won't do anything for me! No one! No one! No one! So please look at me! Are you lonely? No! Get away from me! I'm gonna live on my own! I won't depend on anyone! I know you're lying.
I mean,
Been defiled!
her trauma.
Mr. Kashi!
It feels
What
like...
do I do? I've been soiled. I'm dirty now.
It feels like her trauma has become my trauma.
Maybe we could airlift Unit 0 and snipe the target in the air.
Negative. This target has the ability to
Let him
infiltrate the
go.
minds of Ava pilots.
I just need to make sure I don't get hit, right?
That may not be enough.
But we can't leave Asuka like she is now.
So be it. Ray, go below to the dogma for the spear.
The Spear of Longinus? Hikari, you can't.
Hurry.
But sir, by allowing Adam and Ava to contact one another, you risk triggering the third impact. So, it was a lie. The second impact wasn't caused by contact with an angel. If this isn't enough to set off the third impact, then what was the cause of the second impact?
Hikari, you don't think it is too early for this?
The Council has begun mass production of the Ava series. One cannot turn back the clock, but one can move it forward.
You know the old men won't stand for this.
We must complete this before Zile sets things in motion. It'd
This-
be unwise to lose Unit 2. Not yet.
But using the Spear of Longinus without Zila's permission will cause serious trouble.
Pilot's brainwaves have decreased to 0.06. Life support critical.
So the spear was keeping it from like regenerating or...
10 seconds.
And is that man-made? Did they make that?
7, 6, 2, 1, 0.
Wow. Whoa!
Target destroyed. And what happened to the spear?
It has exceeded
It's-
first cosmic
it's gone.
velocity, and it is currently moving into lunar orbit.
Recovery would be virtually impossible.
So what happens to Adam now? Adam's like back.
I'm glad you're okay, Asuka.
Screw you! I'm not okay! Of all the people, that woman had to be the one that saved me. I wish I just died than been saved by her. I hate it! I hate it! I hate all of you! I hate all of you to death!
God damn! Oh my God. Okay, first of all, I want to say that as always, this show as it's always done, it handles trauma so incredibly well and has such a visceral way of depicting childhood trauma. It's moments of silence that where it lingers, how it chooses to frame things. It elicits this like very emotional reaction where I feel like I am really going through these things with these characters, like, and I'm understanding how they're feeling, how they're seeing themselves, each other, like the world, like, oh my God, that was so good. But there were so many other things. The Spear of Longinus. I mean, there were things I was remembering I forgot to mention from the previous episode too. Like, you know, even just talking about Adam and Eve and Adam and Ava. I mean, is there some sort of relation there? That was also something I had forgotten to mention, which is interesting because they talk about humanity using Adam to create the Avas, but biblically speaking, I think Eve was... No,
Adam was created
Adam
first.
was created first, and then from a rib.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Right. So then, so then that does track. And that is...
And it's like Eve was the one to create sin.
Sin. Yes.
For human beings. So like, is the Ava's construction a sin?
Are they humanity's sin against the divine? Wow. This show is so good. This show is so good. Asuka, too. What a tragic backstory.
Yeah, she just is like, even after all of this, being shown it again for sure, like she just refuses to face it like at all. She would rather just like not deal with it, just say that she's over it or say that she's above it or say that it doesn't really matter, that she's stronger, but like not even really thinking like, oh, this is something bad that happened to me. She just doesn't want to face it at all.
Which is, you know, why...
With anger, I guess. She's angry at everyone else for her situation.
Yeah.
And yeah, people that didn't even have anything to do with the things that happened to her. She just,
Well, she does what Shinji does and runs away from pain, builds up walls, these emotional like barriers to keep everyone out because she knows what it feels like when you let those walls down, what can happen. And she doesn't want to feel that. And I think her anger also comes so much into play when she sees someone like Shinji and especially like Rei.
And like Misato. I mean, there was like definitely a clear reason why in the beginning of like her little spiral into people not being her, talking, you know, like looking like her, being like her, like Misato is like the ultimate reminder that like she isn't a woman completely yet. I mean, I love the nuances between like Misato mentioning like, oh yeah, she has her period, she's on her period, but like you're still a child. It's so weird, like this thing that people tell you like, oh, it's
womanhood,
and people are still treating you like a kid. It fucks you up. I mean, mentally, it's like, why am I being treated like a child when I have this thing that like could literally make me into a mother?
Biologically is telling me that I'm ready to
bear children.
To bear children.
Yeah, it's a weird. I mean, being 12 and getting that and like being in that as a girl, that's why she just Misato. Speaking like her, looking like her, like she wishes she was Misato. She wants to grow up fast so she doesn't have to deal with people looking down on her, because that's like a lot of what being a kid is like adults telling you what they know or how to think or what to be. And that's what she hates the most about what had happened to her with her mom, because, you know, being treated like a doll or wanting to be a doll, and that's why she hates Ray so much, is because Ray just goes along with
Ray
everything
is
anything
literally
says.
a puppet.
Yeah, so she's just like, I hate you for that because you remind me of what, you know, the people in my life wanted me to be. And, you know, Shinji getting recognition, but not believing in himself and not having confidence. She hates that too because she's like, I have confidence.
Like,
but
if
no
I was
one,
just able to do the things that you were
doing, that everyone would praise me, but no one's like, it's just
then
like,
I would have what I think I want, what I think I need.
Yeah, it's these three people.
And it's wasted on you.
These three people that are like literal mirrors to what she wants or hates. Like, it's complete.
Yeah, and the symbolism of like potentially even those voices, you know, her not really, maybe, I don't know, could it also symbolize her not really understanding and knowing who she is because she hasn't faced these things, or maybe who she feels like you said, what other people are telling her she should be, because it was all other women, right? It wasn't like, you know, Shinji or anything. It was all other women. So her figuring out like, who am I versus like, who is everybody telling me to be, who all of these other people
that's the same thing that happened with Shinji too.
Yeah.
Same, not exactly the same, but like very similarly, when he was kind of lost in the sauce for a little bit.
Yeah.
The pool, if you will. But yeah, I really liked this episode. Again, it just, even after all that, she's still yelling at Shinji instead of like, you know, when she was getting shown all of the stuff by the angel, she even was like mad at Shinji for like not being there for her and not like, you know, like loving her, but yet he's the first one to say like, I'm glad you're okay, and her to just completely get away from me. I hate you to death. Like, she just doesn't know how to be. She just doesn't think anyone genuinely cares about her. She only thinks that people care about her when she does things for them, but that's the exact thing that she hates the most. So it is just like, she's like a walking contradiction all the time.
Yeah. And it's almost that I guess the behavior is, I don't want anybody to see me as like less than, or see me as weak, or see me as a child. But at the same time, like, I crave that attention and that affection. Like, even from Shinji, like she said, like, hold me, to hug me, to like keep me close. Like, she almost expects or is mad that people don't know that is what she wants, but also would be so upset if anybody tried to give that to her.
Well, that's why she...
But
that's why she was trying to do it. That's why she was trying to pursue Kaji. Because if she, you know, obviously, definitely a lot of mommy issues. She thought that the only way she could gain affection was to be in like a sexual like relationship with a man.
Right.
Like, she didn't want to reach out to another woman. She had another like mom figure in her life. She's even calling her and like checking up on her, but she's like, no, like, I'm not gonna do that again. So I'm gonna look for a man and give him this thing, and then I'll get that affection back.
You're absolutely right. You know, I realize that as you say that. Like, there's another person, another woman who has adopted her, essentially, right? Become her new mother, which is hard for a child to accept, for sure. But also, yeah, that instead of leaning into that relationship, she is going to this man and giving what she thinks, and that kind of plays into maybe that conversation that happened in the hospital. Maybe she could hear that. Maybe she was hearing that in another room or something, when the doctor was having a conversation with another man and they were talking about her birth mother. And then it sounded like they started fucking or something.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, as a child, like, that trauma, like that experience is signaling to her like, oh yeah, this is affection. This is love. This is, man.
Well, because a man, like, if she was with Kaji, like, he wouldn't see her as a child if she was doing all that stuff for him. He would see her as an adult, as a woman. Like she said, like, I'm a woman now. Like, I'm like, what are you waiting for? Like, what's the problem?
Yeah,
and he would have loved her like a woman and not like a child, because she didn't want to. She wasn't looking at Kaji as a father figure.
No, never.
No, so that's why.
And that's again why the doll thing is so. Oh man, I mean it's so sad, because I even feel like that could mean so many things. Like in this case, it was a literal doll, right?
What they were saying too, like about how like dolls are made to be and shape them and whatever. You can make them into whatever you want to be. Relating it back to like God making man in His image. And a parent, I mean, molding a child into their image too.
That's what I mean. Like, I think it was a literal doll in the episode, but it was symbolizing, I think, how a lot of parents perceive their children, which is this malleable thing that they can shape into their image. Like you
and said. It's even crazier because she hates, obviously, Rey for a lot of different reasons, but she is like the personification, I guess, of that hatred of the doll type person. Because I mean, her mom was literally like mentally unstable, and she preferred and put who she thought Asuka was like onto that doll, and it didn't talk back. It didn't say anything back. And she's like, okay, you're talking to a doll.
Mm-hmm. And you love this doll. You're giving this doll.
But I'm the one who can talk. I'm the one who could speak. I'm the one who could think.
And I'm also like, I'm right here.
Yeah.
Like, I'm right here.
Yeah. So like, obviously, again, like, and Asuka sees this too. Kaji was really the only one that she felt comfortable with. Like, she never really felt comfortable with Misato. She said that. Shinji too. Like, Misato and Shinji already had a relationship before she came in. Rei already had a relationship with she started to grow a relationship with Shinji. And also, I mean, Ikari and Rei. I mean, she's seeing all of these people have these like connections with like parent figures. Right. And she did it. She wants that, but she doesn't have any of that.
But that's like what's so crazy about, again, how incredibly well written this series is, because she is surrounded by those parental figures, like you said, but also, putting Kaji with her is exactly what you said. She's looking for that relationship and that affection from a male, not the parental kind, but the romantic kind, to validate her. The other men, or boys, like in the case of Shinji, she doesn't want to latch on to Shinji because Shinji is a child and she doesn't want to be perceived as a child. She wants to be perceived as an adult. And then with Misato and her adopted mother, those are women, and she is not looking for that in women. So, I mean, just that the characters that surround her, I mean, and the relationship between her and Kaji, like, it just, I can't help but also, like, I mean, it's so real. Like, this is such a real thing that happens to people. And, I mean, this is...
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. And it's, like, kind of scary to think about, like, if Kaji wasn't a good guy.
Yeah, no, for sure. Who was going to take advantage of that?
Yeah. Who would just be like, okay, yeah, for sure. Lit.
Because trauma, I do feel like, people say, I guess, that trauma does age you, right? Like it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's like it mentally, I wouldn't say it aged her, because she definitely isn't mature.
She's not mature, but I mean, I think
she is just pushing it down so much she's like, she wants everyone to perceive her as older, but she acts more immature than Shinji and Rei. And everyone knows that, and it drives her crazy because she can't really control her emotions or how she acts because of her trauma, because of everything that she went through, because she's not dealing with it at all.
Yeah.
Like, at all. And if she dealt with it, like...
There are people who just never do.
Yeah.
Like, there are actual people who never do. And I think, there are so many things that I could personally relate to. I mean, in all of the characters. I mean, that's what the beauty of I mean, all the, maybe not so much Rei so far, but I mean, Shinji for sure, and Asuka for sure.
Yeah, I was, that elevator scene obviously is like one of the most iconic scenes in Eva, in general. So I was like excited to see how you'd react to it. But that scene is so amazing just because, like you said, the silence, Eva uses a neon silence all the time in such great... Like, the detail of the anticipation of, like, who's going to say what first. And Rei has the first line. And it's, like, immediately met. Like, she was just waiting for her to say anything. She could have said hello. She could have said anything, and Asuka was just immediately gonna jump on her ass. Like she was just looking for someone. Yeah. And you could just feel that. And Ray's just telling her, like, just talking to her, and she's just yelling at her, and it's
like
such a great scene.
Who wrote this and the people that worked on this anime, like, I mean, it comes from a real understanding of the complexities of human emotions. Like, we are so complex and we constantly contradict ourselves, like, all the time, which is so insane to be framed in a series with these otherworldly things that are also looking into the hearts of man and trying to understand them more. In the case of Asuka and Shinji, almost like trying to get them to confront those things, to try to get them to see beyond, these things. There's so many. I mean, I feel like this series was written by a freaking psychologist or something, dude. I mean, it's so good. And we can really unpack and talk about the characters for hours and hours and hours and really deconstructing. Like, but that's the thing. Like, if you were to do that, like, it all tracks. Like, I've seen things in these characters and myself and other people. Like, it all tracks. It all is just such a true
it's
depiction of a lot of these things.
Yeah, it's so funny because, like,
these emotions, these feelings, these traumas.
It just goes so deep, like the contradictory nature of just like human beings, and it's like how we are getting the most like human characters in an like animated series.
Yeah, this is better than fucking some Hollywood live action movie shit.
About
Way
angels and giant robots. Like, it's just so insane. And I mean, again, that's why it's just so iconic and timeless. And
this is one of the most well written and well executed anime I have ever seen, ever. And we still have 4 episodes left to go.
Mm-hmm.
Really quick. I mean, we could talk about the characters forever, and that's my favorite part. I love doing that, but for the sake of time, really quick, I do want to mention like the Spear of Longinus, Adam, and again, something else I forgot to mention: the Dead Sea Scrolls that seem to prophesize that another third impact is coming with an exact date. Like there's or at least
a year. Yeah. So like Shinji was probably what, like 2 years old. So at that point in time, he said like in 10 years time.
So it's about that time. It's about that time. Yeah, it's about that time. Indie Day now, it's coming, and it almost seems like Ikari Gendo wants to usher that in. He's not,
usher that in, and he said, you can't rewind the hands of time. You can push them forward though.
Right.
So he's just going for it.
So he thinks that this is the next, I don't know, phase of humanity, going to be the next era.
Well, because he's like the mass production of Evas, he doesn't want that, because if he doesn't have the control of the Evas, then
what's the point?
What's the point? So that's why he's like, you know what? It's time to get that Ginus out.
Yeah, that Longinus.
Longinus.
Which is crazy because that once they ripped it out of Adam seemed to regenerate, which would then mean that Adam, with 4 episodes left, is going to be able to do. How are they going to contain Adam? It does seem like they are on track to. Gendo is on track to really, because that would solve all of his problems. It would allow him to. Granted, I'm sure he has a way to survive it, to guarantee his survival.
Mm-hmm.
But it would solve all of his problems. Like, it would probably take care of all those other Evas. It would just put in the world in a state of maybe the people who did survive, because the first and second didn't wipe everybody out. It wiped out a huge population and city, but it wasn't like the entire world.
Yeah.
So the rest of the world would be, again, like,
it would just be a major setback. And if you were able to...
For everybody else, not for him.
That's what I mean. If you were able to control it in a way that only kind of in one particular spot or spots. If that were to happen, then like everyone's technology would be wiped.
Exactly.
And Nerve would be standing on the top.
And he could use the population's fear to control them.
Yeah.
Easily control them. So, God damn, dude. The spear, I mean, they got to go get the spear. So I feel like that's going to be maybe the next episode. They're going to go get the spear, try to get, I don't know. Because I don't even know if that was
they couldn't get it.
I mean, they said they couldn't, so maybe they won't or can't, but I don't know. I just maybe assumed that they would try, but
I mean, it's just kind of a nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
If they can't get it, then
it seemed like that was the only thing.
Well, yeah, Misato and the deputy commander is like,
What are
you doing? Like, please don't do this.
Yeah.
And he just did it anyway.
And was that
There's
something
gonna
that
have
they,
repercussions?
Of course. Was that something that they, I guess, I don't know if you can answer. Did they say that they found it or did they say that they made it? Oh my God. These were literally like no other episodes so far.
I'm telling you, it just goes like after like, I mean, even before then, but 21 through 25, it's like,
Well, I mean, again, these
and we have to watch 26 too. People were wondering if we were. I forget what it entails. There's like an extra episode, right? Comment below and clarify for me because people were mentioning it, and I remember hearing about it when I was watching it for the first time. It's an extra episode. I think we'll watch it after we finish the complete 25.
Or 26.
Is it 20? Is
It's
1 through
26.
26? Okay, so it's like 27.
Here on Netflix, it's 27.
So we'll watch that, and then obviously, once we're done with the first season, we don't know when, but people keep commenting and asking if we are going to do the movies, and we definitely are. They just might be more sporadic. They might not be immediately after when we finish the first season. They might be more so when we have time to sit down and watch them.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to say that
But
before we get out of here.
We do want to do them. And
Because we keep getting I'm like, yes, I think we said it in like the first episode, and then we never mentioned it again.
And here again, we're saying it at the very end. So if you stayed all the way to the very end.
Yeah, if you stayed all the way to the very end, why don't you just comment below and tell people that
they're gonna do the movies.
Yeah, tell people that we will in fact do the movies.
I mean, we have 4 episodes left, 2 reaction videos left. This has been an insane journey, a journey that I am so glad that we finally got to go on, to sit here with you, to experience it with everybody, in the comments.
Why. It's one of my all-time favorite like watches, and watching it again has been so much fun. I mean, there's things that I forget, and once the episode starts, I'm like,
yeah. And there's still probably so many things that, we've even forgotten to talk about in the previous 2 episodes that we just watched. But again, it was just like information overload. There's so many things to unpack, so many things to talk about. So yeah, I mean, I am just having the best time with this series. It has been absolutely incredible. I can't believe that we only have 2 reaction episodes left, but that is going to do it for this episode. These reactions and this conversation. So if you haven't subscribed yet, we have 2 left. So please consider subscribing so that you see exactly when these episodes come out. We don't plan on missing a week. We plan on being pretty consistent until we finish it out. So subscribing to the channel helps out so much. And of course, if you want to see the uncut, unedited, uncensored versions, then you could do that by becoming a Patreon member, patreon.com/volume1pod, or by becoming a YouTube member by clicking join somewhere next to the subscribe button on our main channel. There's a link to our main channel in the description. You get access, unedited, uncut access to not just these reactions, but I mean, Hell's Paradise we're reacting to.
Oh, yeah.
We react to a lot of other things, and it's unedited, uncut access to all that, plus other things, exclusive podcast episodes, early access to other things. So if that sounds interesting to you, then you can go to patreon.com/volume1pod or click join somewhere next to the subscribe button on our main channel, which there will be a link to in the description below. I know it's a lot. But oh my God, guys, the only thing left to do now is to get out of here. I am literally like, I feel like my brain is mush right now in a good way. Like I really do love so much when a story can do that, can really affect you that way.
Yeah.
Like this is something so special. But the only thing left to do now is to get out of here in our outro that's always the same and never changes, which today, Mehgan, is the Spear of Longinus.
You're an old hag.
Oh my God.
I don't need your help, old hag. She went, what?
She said, huh? What'd you say, you little bitch?
She pretty much did.
Yeah. She did. I mean, I want to say poor Asuka.
Poor Asuka, that's good. Oh, R.I.P. Kaji.
R.I.P. Kaji. Yikes. We got to honor the man. We got to give him something.
Yeah.
He really did grow on me, and I
mean, yeah, after that, when I saw that, when he was like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that with you. I'm shutting that down real quick.
Yeah.
I was like, and I shouldn't even have to do that, but that's what's sad.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a stand-up guy.
Yes, man. Fuck, dude. Thank you for watching. Thank you for any and all ways that you show your support. And until next time, R.I.P. Kaji. God damn. Kaji. You were asking her to water flowers, and who's going to take care of the melons in the melon garden?
You probably picked him.
I'm going to miss him. I never thought I'd say that. I'm going to miss his inappropriate elevator behavior shenanigans.